Like, what?
I could maybe do it like once a week.
Maybe. Well, that's the whole thing is I feel like it's like efficiency over mass consumerism. I feel like we were fed a lot of stuff. Like there was a lot more things that were geared towards us as like teenagers and like in those developmental years. Like there was probably like 100 different like kids magazines you could subscribe to. And then when you were a teen, there was like every single magazine that still exists now and doesn't exist had a teen version of their magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have all that, which then like drove that extra stuff. Like, oh, you need to have this, or like this person has this, and you can get this kind of version of it. And I feel like Gen Z is a lot of like revisiting and like trying to help millennials like unlearn things, and also like reintroduce like you don't need all this stuff. Like, there's a lot of millennials who've like ruined our skin, ruined our hair because of like things that maybe people have done to try to like, you know, like keep it up with the Joneses type of thing.
Like those people that are like, oh, my natural hair color makes me look the best.
Oh my God, the realization of that, or people who are like putting down like, oh, I don't like my natural hair color. I don't think it looks cool. Do what you want to do. I mean, I change my hair all the time. But like you said, it's like when you watch the rotation on social media, when it's like, oh, they're starting to get blonder. Oh, now they're dyeing their hair dark because it's winter. Oh, now they're going through like a burgundy. Oh, no, sorry. I apologize.
Cowboy capper.
It usually goes like half and half. So you've got like your like blonde streaks or balayage. It starts in like the spring. And then summer, it's like full on freaking blonde hair, maybe some like fun fashion colors. And then you're filling your hair because you want it to be dark. So you're doing your cowboy coppers, you're doing your cozy fall vibey pumpkin spice, whatever they decide to call it that year, old money hair. And then it's like Christmas is coming and so is seasonal depression. So I'm going to dye my hair black brown. And like the black brown goes all the way through. And then it just like rotates back and goes, and the extensions are in and the extensions are out. And I've watched a couple of people who fall within the millennial generation for years, and I've watched them go through it, and I'm watching a lot of them no longer do the teeth whitening, no longer get their nails done, no longer get the fake eyelashes, no longer get extensions in their hair, no longer bleach the shit out of their hair and change it all the time. And one of them was like, Laura DIY. She goes, I cannot believe how much free time I have in my calendar now that I don't do all that stuff. Not that like I may go back and do that stuff again, because if I want to and if it feels great, but like my life is so much easier now that I'm not complicating it with all of these extra things. She goes, and the amount of fucking money I save, ridiculous. Because like when she gets it done, like you're paying for quality for a lot of those things, and you can do things the other way, but it's also like there was a lot of millennials trying to do their nails during the pandemic, and a lot of Gen Zs who were like, yo, just get some fake nails, glue it on with this really good glue if you want to have fancy nails. Then you can take them off whenever you want, and it's so much cheaper. Meanwhile, we're over here trying to like curate gel with like a fucking black light and shit on our finger. I was like,
bombed down.
I tried that powder one too. Like we were all just trying different things, even just for fun because we were bored. But there were so many different. Also, it was so dramatic when someone dyed their hair at home when I was younger. And like, oh my God, what are you doing? Or if you cut your hair, like people would be like, oh my God, she's having a mental breakdown. Someone needs to help her. Or people just be mean and like make fun of their hair. And now it's like so common. So common. Like, oh yeah, I just like dyed my hair. I did this like cute gloss, or like very like low maintenance and very like taking it back to even, we went through a lot of even just like electronic shifts. And I feel like you guys are like, I fucking don't want a phone that does everything. I want an individual designated thing for all this stuff. And I'm like, I love this MP3 players.
I want them to come back.
Or a lot of people who are Gen Z are getting like flip phones. They're fancier, way fancier flip phones than the one we had. Like they're not going back. I'm not gonna lie, the Razr one came out and I kind of want it. But like my niece has one. And this is like the most hardcore flip phone. I was like, man, that would have never broken. It's so great. It's like a cat brand or something. And it still has some smartphone features. Like if you really want, you can have social media. And she's like, I don't feel like I need it. I feel like society's trying so hard to make you guys want to buy all the things too.
Oh my God. They're trying so, like they will try to influence anybody. And we're just like, oh, I'm gonna go to the small bookstore and get this book that came out in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Or, oh, we're doing book club, but we're just gonna exchange the book and each of us are gonna talk about the book after each one. It's just so much oh, well, I don't really want to be on social media. There's a running joke with some of my coworkers because one of my coworkers would be like, well, did you see that I posted that on social media? And I was like, no.
Oh, that's like anybody who looks at me and goes, oh my God, well, it was on my Facebook. You didn't see that my grandma died or something? And I was like, no, because I don't go on Facebook. I go on Facebook for one purpose and one purpose only. Marketplace. I love myself a Facebook Marketplace experience.
I barely go. It's starting to be spring, so it's my Pinterest season, but I barely go on Instagram. I don't really go on Facebook. I will go on and I will open it and see if there's any messages because obviously I have to be responsive.
Yeah.
But most of the time someone sends me something and our mom's like, did you see what I sent you? And I was like, you sent me something?
I honestly really only go on Instagram on behalf of the podcast. Other than that, I'm not really going on there for fun.
Yeah.
Also, our mom's very new to social media. She just got it a year or two ago. So she's still very much ooh, fun things. And shows me a thing. And I'm like, Mom, that's really great. She's like, isn't that the funniest video I've ever seen? I'm like, yeah, I saw it a year and a half ago on a different platform. Mm-hmm. But I love how this is the first time that you're seeing it. And it is very funny.
Yeah. But I feel yeah, if it was presents for millennials, I have to be there. Gen Z is just convenience. I don't really want to. And I feel people, millennials were so scared to be yeah, I don't really want to go.
I don't really want to go when I can't say no. That was a whole thing. Or the fear of missing out, the FOMO. It was strong.
And Gen Z's you know what? This is the first night that I'm going to be home and my dog hasn't seen me in a week.
You guys are also way more health conscious than us. We ran on energy drinks, way more coffee than anybody should ever consume, and minimal food.
I think health conscious though is almost a dangerous word. I feel health aware.
Yeah, that's
versus because we don't I don't really see a lot of Gen Z going into these radical diets.
No, that's a huge thing that I feel is really dying off, which I absolutely love is we had the cabbage soup diet. We had the master cleanse was a big one. There was people who was eating combos. There was people who were doing anything. If you watch Mean Girls, a lot of the stuff that's in there is extreme. That was a lot of stuff that I saw happen in high school.
Which now it's oh, well, I'll make smoothies with a bunch. But again, it's I'll make a smoothie. And the millennials are I'm going to add sea moss.
Oh my God. It's the overcomplication. And I catch myself with that all the time. It's I love this, but you guys are more what was your word that you said for Gen Z?
Convenience.
I see Gen Z as the editors. That's a really great concept. I'm going to break it down to 1 to maybe 3 steps or 1 to 3 ingredients. And then other than that, I'm not going to do it because it's a waste of time and I'm going to get the same results.
Your generation, I don't know why you hate cows so much.
I say cow. Oh,
milk, beef. Every single time I'm oh my God, you guys this is not the people who are allergic to dairy. Obviously.
Which I am one of them.
Yes, this is not the people who are allergic to dairy. These are the people who choose hairy milk over cow's milk.
I know there's really big obsessions and a lot of them are really bad. Just the harshest way to say it is just you're either buying everything from a natural food store because you think that everybody's going to think that you're a terrible mom if you don't buy your stuff from there, or you don't give a fuck and you're just buying your kid whatever. And people are you're pumping your kid full of chemicals and blah, blah, blah. I understand that there is shit in things. And I also understand there's a whole thing, but if you don't expose your kids to some of those things, A, you don't find out about allergies. But also, if you don't expose your kids to some of that stuff, they go hard once they leave home. Those things.
Psychologically, too, if you have, for instance, getting into the warmer seasons, if you have a freezer of popsicles,
yeah,
all the time, probably the first week or two, it'll be Auntie, can I have a popsicle? Or Auntie, can I have a freezie?
Yeah.
Auntie, have this? Lasts probably a week. And it's maybe twice a day, there's a question.
Yeah.
Then it's 2 weeks out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's oh, it's really hot. Hey, bud, do you want a popsicle? Oh, that'd be great. Then it's maybe twice a week. Then it's once a week. And then it's
She forgets that it exists.
But it's like, but the excitement's worn off.
Yeah.
I still have it. And that way, like, oh, well, we're going to have a treat and we're going to do this. It's not like, well, can I have it now? So that's what I need. I've never had this before. I want 50,000. Like, yes, I have a mini fridge upstairs that is called the beverage fridge.
Oh, yeah.
And there's pop, there's soda, there's coffee, there's juice, there's all of those things. Is any of them going to kill me? No. If I want a soda and it brings me joy, then I'm going to have a soda.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the whole thing is it's literally balance. Everything in life is balance. And it's just like not picking yourself apart all the time. And I feel like there's a lot less judgment. I just get scared when I see that like so much judgment and shit from one thing. Then you guys are like very lax. And then I see on social media, and again, this may be some like high populated areas, maybe other stuff like that, where like it's almost reverting back to like the 2000s, which like scares me. But then also there'll be like someone who will randomly check in and be like, oh, did your kid have blank? And we're like, oh yeah, we actually got these instead. They're really good quality and they last a long time. But if you're looking for a low budget version, they have this.
Yeah.
Like we had a mom who popped into like our like grade 3 mom chat thing. And she was like, guys, I don't want Lulu and I don't want Aritzia. I'm tall. I need legging recommendations. I don't care where they come from. And a couple people gave different ones. And it was like, I don't want to spend $100 on leggings. And it was like, okay, cool. And I'm like, oh, I get these ones. Like, I feel like Gen Z is a lot more accepting of the fact that, like, you buy shit at Costco. You buy shit at Walmart. You buy shit at other places, and that doesn't matter.
I will literally say this entire outfit is from Costco. These are Modetta joggers from that lovely lady in Calgary who updates me on Costco products. Thank you. Love you.
Oh, my God. I love her. YYC Costco Finds.
Is that
I think
her?
that's her name, yeah.
Modetta, Gap socks, laser pants, zip down crew.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a bra from Amazon.
Yeah.
I was like, am I not? Every time. Oh, underwear, Costco. They're in a 10-pack.
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing. The thong versus the full bum generation.
I've never worn a thong. Which I've said it to Sarah. Why do we care if you can see that I'm wearing underpants?
Oh, I know.
Like, oh my God, there's a panty line.
Congratulations.
Oh my God.
I love when people are like, I can see your underwear. I had like a random girl tell me that at the grocery store. Like I was in there by myself. She's like, just to let you know, I can see your underwear. I'm like, oh my God, am my pants see through? She's like, no, I can see the line. And I was like, aren't you happy to know that this old broad that's grocery shopping is wearing underpants? Thanks, honey. And I walked away and she was like, what? Like not like judgmental. At least, I don't know. She could have been judging the shit out of me. I don't really care. But I feel like there's a lot of things that have changed for the better. But then again, I would love if society didn't revert things back. I don't want my kid to see or hear the stupid shit that like I went through in high school. It was bad.
True. And on that note, if this is your first episode listening to us, we're going into our third year.
Technically it's season 3 right now.
Yeah, because we started at the beginning of the year. But always stay warped and twisted as ever. Peace.
Life's unpredictable, but we're staying true. Through the ups and downs, we'll be here to guide. Come back next week, we'll be right by your side. Burnt out perfectionist, we've got so much to say. Real, raw, and ready to talk today. We'll be back next Monday with more in store. Catch you then, we're always here for more.